Okay, so in this video, I'm going to use colored pencil and I'm going to draw a banana and an orange. So if you chose this reference, um, this will help with the banana and the orange. And then this will also help, even if you didn't choose this one, this can also help because if you have another yellow or orange object from one of the other references, then this is a video to watch because I'll be dealing with those colors primarily. So obviously, if you did pick this reference or any of the references, the one that you choose, you do have to do all three pieces of fruit. In this video, I'm just going to do two, but your assignment, you have to complete all three. Okay. So in the previous video, I did the tomato and apple, and then on my own, I finished a little bit more. It looks somewhat finished. So here's a tomato, apple, and the pear. I will make another video where I do a pear and like the green apple. So that'll be another separate video. So there was that. All right. So again, I'm going to have my reference photo pretty close to me for this one. Maybe I can get it in the same shot here for a little bit. Okay, so I have my paper in front of me and I have another paper off to the side that I'm going to maybe test my colors on as I'm doing this. And then I have my four or five main colors that all right, so, and as I start my picture, I like to get my 4 or 5 main darker value colors: indigo blue, Tuscan red, dark brown, dark umber, and dark green. Those are going to be my darker values that'll help me out here. And then I know I'm going to be using yellow. I'm probably going to be using a lot of my yellows and my yellow greens. Okay, so I want to kind of pull those out because I'm making a little family of colors that I talked about in the previous video. Ginger root is a really nice color. It's almost kind of like white in a sense for like highlights and whatnot. So you may want to look at the object that you're starting with and just kind of pull out probably like those main colors that you're going to be working with. Obviously, you may have to pull in other colors. I'll probably pull in some reds and some, I don't know, there's a little bit of violet in some places. So you kind of want to have those ready, nicely sharpened, hopefully off to the side. Okay, so I'm going to sketch my banana first. And I'm going to sketch with a colored pencil. I don't want to sketch with a pencil because those two things don't really like each other. Kind of like charcoal and pencil don't like each other. So I'm going to sketch the banana and the orange on my paper. If you feel more confident sketching in pencil, that's fine. Just don't press too hard because then it'll ruin this paper that hopefully you're using and picked up. So I'm sketching. I'm using this yellow because my banana is primarily yellow. When I sketch the orange, I'll probably use orange. And then I'm also going to see the shadow that's on the table. I'm going to sketch that in too. I can just go ahead and use yellow. If I wanted to, I guess I could have used indigo blue or Tuscan red. It doesn't really matter, but I'm just going to go ahead and go with yellow. And I'm looking at where it's connecting. How long is it? What kind of shape is that shadow? And right now it's just kind of like a little rough sketch. I'll probably clean it up a lot later. I'm thinking this area right here needs to be a little bit longer. And as you sketch, you can erase colored pencil, but as long as your sketch or your pencil marks are kind of light, then you'll be able to erase. So I'll probably come back and fix that later. The shape's not that great. Okay, so I'm actually going to go ahead and just sketch in the orange here because I'm sketching. Where is my orange? Here it is. Where is that in relation to my banana? And obviously, if you were doing this one as like your actual piece, you would sketch also in the pair. But I'm just doing these two because that's all I'm going to demonstrate in this video. All right, so there's kind of my orange. I'll fix that more later. Okay. So now what I want to do, or what I like to do, is I like to put in like the darker values first. So this is yellow. We don't have like a darker yellow in our little family here. So usually the safest one is going to be like the dark brown or the Tuscan red. I'm going to go with Tuscan red. And so where I'm going to go is where I see my darker places. It is pretty light, this banana, because it's yellow, but there are places that have a little bit darker values. That's the thing. What we're trying to achieve in this is for these colors, again, to have, hey, what's up? All right. So remember what you're trying to achieve with these, and just like your painting, was trying to get these colors to have value. Okay? You don't want your colors to look flat. So that's why we're starting with these darker values first. And I start off really, really light. And I do that so that I'm able to blend all my other colors in later on. Because if you start too dark or if you press, it's not gonna work. I'm gonna bring my camera closer so you can hopefully see my colors better. I'm kind of getting light from the window, so it might kind of be affecting this a little bit, but. And then I kind of see a little reflection here from the orange. I'm going to kind of put a little bit of Tuscan red here. Okay, so now I think I'm also going to bring in dark brown a little bit too over here. And it's important whenever you start these pieces that you want to pick a good color paper. If you pick one of the pictures that has a lot of red fruits, don't pick a paper to work on that's red, because then those colors won't pop out. So you want to pick like a contrasting color, or just a color that's completely different, or a color that's not even in your picture really. And obviously, if you're with me in class, go ahead and ask me what I would suggest. Okay, so now I'm going to bring in the yellow, and I'm just going to do a really light coat of yellow just to get me started. Really, really light, because I'm going to have to incorporate a lot of other colors in this yellow to get this to look not flat, okay? And I see, and that's the thing, sometimes you're going to be like, I don't see these colors, I don't know where you're pulling this from. You're going to like be making these colors way more exaggerated than you think they need to be. So I'm going to bring in yellow orange to really make this banana look like it's curving over here. And I'm trying to blend it in with what I previously did. And I'm making sure my strokes are really close together. And then I'm going to go ahead and give this a really light coat of yellow. So it's kind of like my yellow, it's canary yellow. It's kind of like that canary yellow is like my local color, kind of what we would talk about with painting. It's like it's my local color, my main color, so it's kind of like, it's like my base. I'm going to start with this yellow, and then I'm going to go lighter and darker from there. But it's important that you don't press really hard. All right. And then I see a lot of green over here on the stem. I'm going to bring in some greens. So there's like lime peel, chartreuse, spring green. And we're always looking at our reference photo. That's our main. I'm always looking back and forth. That's where I get all my information from. Constantly looking at it, constantly comparing. I'm going to bring a little bit of ginger root over here to lighten that a little bit, or even some white. Now remember, you have this scratch piece of paper hopefully next to you that you kind of want to test out some of these color combinations on before you bring it to your picture. I kind of know what they're going to do already, so I'm not practicing off to the side as much, but I think it's something definitely important that you guys should do. I'm going to bring in some dark green right here, that nice dark shadow on that stem. But I'm also going to mix some indigo blue with it, because indigo blue helps make things a little bit darker. It's kind of like that when we would do painting, it's kind of like that phthalo blue. It helps get things really nice and dark when you combine those with other colors. I don't want to go too far with it. I'm just going to kind of let it fade off. Now, when I look at this, I see kind of orange or yellow orange, or even like that Tuscan red that I had built in earlier. So I'm going to bring a little bit of orange in it. So the thing is this is not just a yellow banana. There's like 10 different colors happening in here that you need to pull out. I'm going to bring, sometimes I do need to bring back my yellow, my just basic canary yellow, to kind of blend, because you still do need that yellow. So it's kind of like I'm overlapping and bringing that yellow back into that a little bit. Also, when you're doing this, if you need to fix the shape of this, you know, that can be happening too. I'm going to bring ginger root up here a little bit. Ginger root is kind of like this weird grayish white color, but it works. Sometimes you need it. This is lime peel that I'm using to kind of get that a little bit darker. Maybe even if I had olive green, that'll be a nice green to use, that olive green, to get that a little bit darker. I'll even probably put that in here. This down here, it's like this brown. Kind of do brown, dark brown, and I'll probably come in and bring in some. So see how I started with the darker color first, and then I'm kind of using ginger root to kind of etch in some of this detail. So now I'm coming in and making my yellow a little bit more vibrant. I still want to bring in that yellow orange to kind of soften that a little bit. A little line there, kind of like Tuscan red. And it's really dark at the end. So then I'll probably bring in like my dark brown and indigo blue. And then there's like this reflection from the window from the picture that I took. It's kind of like this icy blue that I can start to put in a little bit. I'll clean that up there. It's almost, sometimes there's this nice color called light umber or burnt ochre. It's kind of like a soft brown. I used that a lot when I was doing the pear in that other picture, but there's kind of like this soft brownish red to it that is kind of usable in a lot of these. And then I'm going to mix that yellow with it. And I tend to work, I tend to keep my stuff, my color pencil stuff really light. I don't mind seeing the texture of the paper underneath. I don't mind seeing the color of the paper underneath. I don't like to press too much. I like to just gradually build these colors on top of one another and let them do the work for me and not pressing too much. I'm going to bring back in that burnt ochre down there at the bottom because it's probably going to, it's a little bit, the thing is this is tricky. These colors on here are super subtle on this banana, so you got to work hard at trying to get other colors in here so that it looks like it's curving, it's moving. And you're not going to match these colors 100%. Like I've said before, you're almost making it, you're hopefully going to make this more colorful than it is on the picture. And that's okay. I would rather it be more colorful, full of color, than just be like one or two colors, because then that leads to being flat. That is not what we're trying to do here. We want this to be full of color, showing depth, range of all these values. Bringing some white into the top because it's a little bit lighter up there. Then in turn, I need to come back with my yellow to blend those together. And then, you know, there's all these little brown spots and whatnot on the banana. So I will come back and get some of those in, probably with my dark brown. If I can find it here. And I probably need to darken this Tuscan red area just a little bit. I need to fix that some more, but I think I'm pretty happy with what's going on. So I can start to put these then. I mean, I'm still not done, but I'm going to kind of place these so I don't lose them. Are you going to get everyone? No, maybe you will. I don't know. But definitely get some of the main little brown spots and where they are. Because it just, if you add all that stuff, it just gives it, you know, more detail. It just looks nicer. It just is like, okay, you really paid attention to all the little niceties, and just makes it more realistic. You add some of that stuff in. And there's kind of darker smudges over here that I'll put in, get that going. Oh, we're going on 22 minutes. Right, I think I'm going to start the orange. It's taking a while. Okay, so let's go and move on to the orange for a little bit. I sketched it with orange, obviously. Okay, sketched it with orange. So what's going to be my color that's going to help me get darker values? It's probably going to be that Tuscan red again, okay? Red and orange are warm colors, so that's going to help me. So I'm going to kind of sketch that little thing in. And there's all these, there's all these little creases and dark areas because it can't just be a flat orange, you know, it's going to be darker, a medium, and then there's going to be like this highlight, but then it's lighter over here. So there's a lot of things going on with this orange. So I'm going to, right now, I always like to start with darker values first. I don't know how many times I say it. I said it with paint. I'm saying it now here. That's how you start charcoal. Darker values are always first, and then you go to light. So I'm just putting in some nice areas. Tuscan red. And it's important, you know, to follow the shape of this when you're drawing. You know, this is like a circular thing, and I'm keeping my strokes close together. So now maybe I'll come in with this orange color. I'm going to have to come in with a lot of other oranges. Slowly adding it, blending it. There's brighter yellows in there, brighter yellow oranges that you're going to want to add. The strokes are always close together. Before I get ahead of myself, I'm going to add a little area where the highlight is. Just the general idea of where that is. Now I'm going to bring in more yellow orange over here. This is where the light's coming from the right, so I need this side to be a lot brighter or lighter. So instead of just strictly orange over here, this is definitely going to be more of a yellowy orange. It's lighter. It's kind of like a sphere, or it is. It's like a sphere, like from charcoal. But now you're just working with color and some detail in the middle area of it. Bringing in these lighter colors in between those areas where I made the burnt sienna or the Tuscan red, because now you can see those areas a little bit more. I'm like spreading it out and curving it up and around. How am I going to get that Tuscan red darker? I'm going to use dark brown, because dark brown kind of has like warm tones, whereas indigo blue is more like cool, right? And like green is a little bit more cool. So this is a lot of warm tones in this. I'm going to use my dark brown and Tuscan red to get this nice and dark. Darker values. It's a little bit up here at the top. a little bit of goldenrod in here and see what happens. That's okay. I like this one better, yellow orange. Maybe I'll come back and make some of these white speckles a little bit brighter. Little dots. I'm ready to put in a little bit right here. Little highlights pop out. You can pull back the yellow orange back in there a little bit. All right, it's been about 32 minutes. I'm not done either, but hopefully this helps you get a little bit started with the orange and banana.